Hello, hello, hello. Top of the morning to you. Super evenings and good nights to all of my fans, super lovers, and all the people that are special. Um, what are you doing?
Mwah.
Mwah. Kiss, kiss. What are you doing, Matthew?
Nothing, just being super. I mean, I love you guys.
No, stop it.
Yo, this gay is fucking terrible. Anyway, that's. It's like
Can't
some
even,
people are. Yeah,
can't even
some,
play gay right. What
no,
am I
no,
even
you
doing?
can't. You don't got it. You don't got it. You don't. So it's in the title. We're going to talk about that today because just something gave us an interest, and this is what we're going to talk about. Before we get started, hello to everybody inside the chat. Not an outside of society, just a typical stream. And of course, it is Monday where Jordan is off, and Matthew, as always, likes to be my butt buddy. So it's super that he can join me. And today our topic is being gay hereditary. Now, this is going to be fun. So if you're half which way you don't know which, if you don't know what team you play on, this stream may offend you a little bit. I'm just
Maybe a little.
a little bit. So before we get started, thank you, Lance. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Alicia. And let's get this. Oh, yeah. And Barry is, of course, with us.
Again?
So-
Yeah, but I think he's already offended. He's
Yeah,
one
that's
of the
what
people working.
I know for a fact. Barry will not show up in the stream because Barry is gay. He's the reasoning for the stream, but we'll see if he actually talks because he doesn't have a camera, but he does have a microphone.
Yep.
Said it was gonna
He's-
be
and
more
he's-
active that time, right?
He did say, yeah, last week he said after the stream when he was done last Monday, he said that he was going to be a little bit more active. He types to us on the back, but he doesn't actually talk. He's got a great voice. I don't know why he's holding back.
Oh.
You know,
No idea. But like we said, he's super gay. I mean, there's not a day goes by or he's sucking something. I
agree. I mean,
Well,
there's even been times where he's had his camera on with his phone, like he paired it up, continuity camera, and we saw him and his lover go out to eat. So we've seen Barry, we just haven't seen and heard Barry at the same time. Thank you, Jordan.
Weird thing about him is, once the cameras go off, and we're not online anymore, you can't shut the guy up.
Oh my God, he doesn't stop talking, dude. He doesn't.
yeah.
he doesn't stop.
Once the pee is out of his mouth, he can't shut up. It's insane.
I don't know. I don't know why he won't talk, but we're gonna talk for you today, Barry. One day he will talk. So, what do you guys think? What do you know about gays? Right? Let's start off this way. Is it a choice? Number one. Is it a choice? The big question, $1 million question. Is it a choice or is it?
There's been instances that I know, like Sniffles has told me, of people that have been married for such a long time, have 2 kids, and then later in life they suddenly went, "Oh, mwah, I love this now." So, and then I have one instance in my life where a cousin.
Straight pair, Jessica. Hi. I have no idea what that was. Hold on.
Sometimes I sprinkle when I tinkle.
There it is. So you're saying that it's a choice?
No, because I've had one instance with a cousin, same as Lance's example, that you almost knew from an early age on, yeah, you're definitely swinging for the same team or batting for the same team, and it turned out to be right. So I don't know. Maybe the ones that find that they're really attracted to are in denial for most of their life and find it later in life, and then they switch. But I still think it's not a choice, really. I think it's ingrained in the DNA. I still
So you're
don't
saying
think
it's
normal.
genetic? Wait. So you're saying it's genetic?
Yeah, I do.
We're talking
And
about
it's a malfunction. Keep this.
So
It's-
defective, a disability, if you will.
No, I would say more as a mutation, not a disability. Disability means I'm gonna owe you money along the way. No. It's not a
Okay,
disability.
and what do you think? I think it's a disability. What do you think, Matthew?
well, we're talking about real gay people, not gay for the attention or gay because they're a
I don't think there's
hairdresser.
any of those, honestly. I don't think there's any people that are gay for attention.
Well, I've known a couple.
Yeah, I don't think, at least not in the States, you're not going to see it because, but no, what do you think about just in general being gay? Thank you, Matthew, for that donation, by the way. And Vaughn and Nick. What do you think?
Gay? I had an ex, and she had a nephew, and you could see from an early age with that boy that he was going to turn out for the other side. And his dad tried to go against it, and his mom tried to go against it, and it did nothing. He ended up running away from home because
How
of
little?
it.
How little?
The way he spoke, acted
How little?
Yeah.
How age? I need age.
from like, let's say 5-6 years old. You could really see like this kid. No, he's something different. He's
You
not
don't.
gonna be-
Okay. All right. First off, let me tell you what science says. When you look up is being gay hereditary, it's like looking up if sucralose is bad for you.
Oh,
Some people will say yes, some people will say no. However, there's a huge caveat in here. There's no one gay gene, like there's not a singular gay gene, but genetics are linked to same-sex behavior, saying that DNA from hundreds of thousands of people revealed a handful of genetic variants connected with same sexual behavior, which tells you that if it is linked, then it is in the DNA.
yeah.
Okay, now again, I could pull up another one, not going into the full rundown, not like, EDU sites or I want .gov websites. I want documented scientific research, right? It's in the air, but most people will say that it is hereditary. Let me go back to the kid, right? I want to talk about both of your stories. So let's go back to the kid. Because you know my story. My sister was straight all through high school. I mean, she was sucking dick 6 ways a Sunday. Even if there wasn't school, she was still in the gymnasium on Saturdays sucking dick. Okay, so that was my sister. She made it a point to make that her ho spot. Fifth bleacher, C. Literally. If you went there on a Saturday, you're going to see my sister giving blowjobs. So that's what she did. Like, she was the worst. And then it got to a point where midway through high school, this girl named Christine, I'm not going to say her last name. This is going to sound weird. I thought she was pretty, and I started dating her. Swear to God, true story. I started dating her, and I brought her home, and after about 3 months, I realized that either I'm not sexually adequate, I'm 14 years old, 15 years old, or you didn't think that someone was gay, right? But she was like butchy, strong, muscular. And it turns out she was bulldog. And then her and my sister ended up hooking up. And then her and my sister wanted to get married. They lived with each other. They wanted to have babies, like adopt babies. And then she went back to being straight, got some babies, and then went back to being gay, and now she's straight again. So that's my story. And taking all three of our, well, not yours, Matthew, but join your account and my account, it leads me to believe that there is an option of choice.
Yeah, but that's with everything. In the sense, okay, you can have that predisposition to go back to the other talk, that you would be a heavier person. Now, you can change parts in your lifestyle to still wean away from that and don't go full that way. You can still have that choice. But I think in the back of your mind, you're always going, well, I was more attracted to that than the option I chose now.
And I think that's what it comes down to, right? That's where where it's hard to use choice as an option, because you can't choose to be attracted to something else. As weird as that may sound, you
could
have a
try it.
certain look. Yeah, you have a certain look that you like. You can't say to yourself, I'm now going to be attracted to gingers with fat asses and big boobs. It doesn't work like that. So that's where I think that being gay is not a choice. I also want to go back to you. Hold on, you can say something, Joe, but I also want to go back to what you were saying, Matthew, is that you take a kid that's 5, 6 years old and the parents are trying. I'm going to have to disagree. I think that you can remove that out of that child.
Well, certainly not him. And he turned out to be one of the hyper gay, excessive.
I understand that, but if you can take kids and make them join Hitler's regime, okay? Or if you can take kids and train them to piss on a toilet bowl and not in their pants or eat with a fork, you can train them to like the opposing sex.
Yeah, but it's always going to be in there. I mean, to pray the gay away has never really worked, right?
If you take that kid that is super sensitive and you put a football in his hand and make him tough, like make him go play that game, as much as he hates it, he might be still gay, but he's not going to be the super sensitive gay. He's going to be
Well, but
Don't you think he would end up one of the stories I just told about, Jay? The one that ends up being in his mid-40s, 50s, having the 2 kids and wife, and then realize, oh, I actually prefer this. Why did I take this detour? And then you go back to, because if the parents pushed him in a certain direction and it weaned them off for a while.
But that's horse shit, though. It's horse shit because if you look at us, look at my life. I was beat as a kid, right?
Mhm.
I'm doing I learned my lesson from those things, and I don't lie anymore. Granted, there are people that rebel, but doctors say that you can rely on your childhood to make you who you are, the man today. Other people, like life coaches, will say that that's a terrible excuse to take responsibility for who you are today. You should become your own person. So it's hard for me to believe that you are born with a penis and you like penises. That is, if that's not confusing, I don't know what is.
if you say it like that, it is genetical because it's your mind and you have the same-sex attraction. So it has to be from birth. On the other hand, I do think people or parents can influence kids and damage kids to this point.
Absolutely. If you find a man that's raised by all women, 99% of the time,
He's going to have a gay inkling or
More
whatever.
feminine.
absolutely.
More
Absolutely.
feminine traits.
And you get a girl that's raised by not even a nuclear family of 2 dudes. You get a girl that's a daddy's little girl and plays football with daddy.
But-
She's going to
yeah.
be a tomboy. She's going to be, I'm not going to say she's going to be a lesbian, but she'll have more traits of a boy than that of a boy that's raised by girls.
That's a good one. Do you think, Jay, that there is a difference if, let's say, the example you just gave, like you have two women, very female women, raise a boy, and you have 2 men or very butch men raise a daughter. So butch daughter, sissy boy.
The butch
Yeah.
daughter is going to
Yeah.
like boys. The butch daughter is 100% going to like boys. 100%. Are you saying 2 males like me and you raising a daughter? Or are you saying 2 gay guys raising a daughter?
Or one that doesn't matter. So it's a butch girl.
Oh, it does matter.
No,
It
I
does
think it matters. Because if you take me and you and we raise a daughter, right? For whatever reason, me and you are buddies and we're like, boom, let's adopt a daughter. She's going to be straight. Now, if you take us both and we're stop it, you're still go make
Yeah.
me some spaghetti, right?
No.
I think
Regular men. So females raising or a female raising a boy, and a man's man raising a girl.
okay,
So
are they
which one of the
straight
two
or
do you
are they
think has
gay?
has more likelihood of being for the other side?
Okay, are they straight or are they gay?
That's yeah. If you go, they're both gay.
If you
that's
raise
different.
two, look, here's my opinion. You take two gay guys and they raise a straight little girl, she's going to be straight. I don't care how gay they are. If you take two gay guys and raise a girl, she's probably going to be a lesbian. Now, on the other side, take two women and raise a boy 99% of the time, whether they are super, dykey or whether they are just,
Sensi.
Sensi. I still think that they will turn out a gay boy.
So
I don't know why.
the boys have a higher rate of turning
Yes,
to the
because think about boys. We're not in touch with our emotions. We were just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
We don't want to expose ourselves. But now that we have women that are saying it's okay to be gay, it's okay to tell me how you feel, then that is, he's gonna pick up on that, and that mind is a sponge. And then Bree brought up a good point. How come you don't see in typical fashion gay people that are poor? Why does that typically not happen?
I don't know.
Because it's an expensive lifestyle.
Maybe a dude is more cost effective. Being together with a man is more cost effective than being together with a woman.
I can't say I've ever
I
met
don't
somebody
think
on
so.
a impoverished level that was gay.
Oh, because they
And I
were
used to
more
hang
expensive.
out with Richie Rich in the city in the early 2000s, late 90s, and that's a whole. You look them up when you're done. Remember that Richie Rich, the drag queen. I used to hang out with them, and I never ever knew any of them that didn't either have a nice apartment, Those are not even. Well, they were gay, but none of them had no money. None. None. I don't know. Maybe it's a privilege of the.
No, but what we were talking about before, I 100% agree with you, because it's been proven that women cannot raise a boy. They can raise a boy, but not as it should be. A man is better at raising a daughter than a
100%
woman
agree.
is raising a son.
I'm gonna even go a step further than this. Sounds super misogynistic and say that a man is better at raising a child from 7 on than a woman. When I'm saying a man, I'm talking about a man. A man's man. Get out there. Go work. Go play. Go get dirty. Right? I think a woman is 100% in the infancy years of a child is more crucial than a man.
Mm.
The nurturing, the breastfeeding, formula. I think those stages a man should have nothing to do with. I'm not saying it to get out because I love changing diapers. I don't get sick. I'm just saying that woman, that nurturing, that caring, instill that at a younger age. Now that you're mid-age, let me teach you some of the tough shit in life. You have all that, the love. Forget caring for people. Let's make you tough now against people on the outside, not what's on the in.
That's why I always felt that looking at that is that a woman is better of taking care of a kid. A man is better in raising it, like actually instilling
Sure,
the
I
values.
agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 100% with that.
Yeah.
100%.
I've just recently seen or read something, and it talked about children needing rough play.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
a woman is not good at those setting those boundaries or the rough play, because they're
No.
too nurturing. It's watch out.
Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
a man is like,
Agreed.
come on, I'll throw you in the air. We'll jump
Agreed.
off this. What? So the rough handling, and that gives them something that a woman cannot.
Probably because there's a little bit of a detachment.
Don't know what the
Well, women are gentle, fragile creatures, right? Like, yeah, we got some psychopaths out there, but generally speaking, like, women are fragile, right? They'll watch a movie, they get a little emotional. They're
Yeah, but there's also a stronger connection from the get-go. For most of them, it's the 9 months carrying it, and For a man, even though I'm not a parent, I could see that it takes you longer to grow that connection with it than a woman automatically has that connection from the get-go. But for most of them, because they've
I don't
carried
know.
it for 9 months. No?
Because there's plenty of women that don't have that motherly connection with a baby.
Yeah, but if you look at the percentages, I think it's going to be lower. I think that is going to be a niche lower overall.
The only thing I can see well, if she's pregnant, you're still, if as a man, you're still involved in the pregnancy, and
Yeah, but there's that disconnect. There's not that strong emotional bond from the get-go. It's your
well,
kid.
that usually changes the minute the kid is born and the first time you hold them.
Yeah, but you're already running behind 9 months.
Okay, so what do you do in this case, right? Where your child is gay, you are grown men, and you have this child. Do you accept that child the way that they are, or do you do your best to change this child to make them not gay? Your situations, not society. You specifically.
Well, since I believe in what I said earlier, I don't think I can change it. I would be distraught. I really would.
Would you get rid of the kid? Probably.
Well, there's no test for it. Like you can see if there's something wrong with it.
Well, I don't know. He's saying Matthew's saying at 5, 6 years old, and I've heard that story before. People see it young.
Well, can you put up someone for adoption?
Sure, if you don't want it, absolutely. You can put up a 16-year-old for adoption, unless they're emancipated. Absolutely, you can. Whether or not you're going to throw your whole bond away over that is, it gets into disowning. Is it okay to disown a child? Don't ask me, because I'm the person that, I was only connected to 2 of my 4 kids, so.
I think there would be a severe disconnect that I would like to think I would be strong enough to overcome that, but I don't think I would.
You really don't think you could change it?
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Give me your kid for 2 years.
Yes, but that's the thing, Jay. I believe you could, but that's the mannerisms. I believe then later in life, it's going back to what it
you don't think if
life.
you took a man, right? Like if you took a regular nuclear family, a man and a woman, okay, and they have a child, and whatever, they're gay, which we can accept as acceptable in society's terms now. But let's just say you're not. You're a traditional nuclear family, and you want your children to create nuclear families, okay? Anybody doesn't know what a nuclear family is, it's where you can procreate and continue past the nuclear holocaust, okay? So you can't do that as 2 gay people. So now, if you don't think you have a man's man, tough, and you have the woman that nurtures, you don't think that you can fix that?
I believe now we're getting to the same playing level. Is when you said that, I believe if that nuclear family is that strong, even with their hereditary background, I think your percentages of it turning gay is low. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's hereditary, because you have that strong male and female role pattern in it. It goes away. Your percentages are now irrelevant, and it turns out to be straight.
See, that's how I feel.
I 100% agree with that.
I think the proclivity is going to always be there.
Wait, you said what's always going to be there?
Proclivity it's always going to be there. Maybe hidden or suppressed, but
okay. But how's it any different than you being suppressing your anger or suppressing your sadness? How's that any different? We all deal with something we have to hold down that we would love to get out, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd love to punch that dude at 7-Eleven in the face. But you're like, that's probably not a good idea.
That's your second problem. I 100% agree. The only difference in that is societal. We go, hey, you need to suppress your anger. You need to suppress those emotions because those emotions are bad. Now we're living in a society. Oh, you want to go after another penis or you want to go to a pussy? No problem. Just follow those impulses. Those are acceptable by society. The other ones are not.
I would see. This is why I would love if Barry actually turned on his microphone, because being a homosexual, right? Do you rely? Now, this is going to sound cold, but look, we are open here. We are. I wouldn't say we're. I'm centrist. Jorn's more left leaning and more caring, and then Matthew is extreme right. That's what I'm just going to go with.
Yeah, gotcha.
After yesterday, Jorn saying that there's hope. Yeah, you're a little left leaning. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I'm serious. Do gay people, legitimate question, do they expect, if we're supposed to care about humankind, right? That means we care about all humans. Yes? The existence of human beings. If you are homosexual, gay woman, gay man, how do you expect humankind to prevail? Because you're relying on everybody else?
Yeah, you don't.
I thought the idea is to be independent or have a nuclear family. So that's not it anymore.
Not anymore.
Now it's rely on what Joe's doing down the street and worry about his life than how we can help out society. I know what the argument's going to say is, well, we could adopt a child. Okay, what happens if we run out of children to adopt?
What's going to happen?
Well, well, you just pointed out, if it's in fact linked to a richer lifestyle, your problem is never going to go away, because if you look at it as a whole, it's the poor that get more kids, so you'll never run out. And if the rich, gay, lesbian folk are always adopting from the poor, even your poverty line is going to solve itself eventually, if that's the case.
Well, first off, let's be clear here. Adopting a child runs anywhere between $60,000 to $120,000 in America.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
so. Whether or not you're going to find any poor people adopting soon, that ain't going to happen.
You're better off finding some girl, knocking her up, and then just give me the baby and thank you. Yeah. Well, but the children thing, birth rates have never been this low, and they're still dwindling. What do you get in combination with a lot of gay, trans, and whatever? And then you've got women are so empowered that they're all bad boss bitches and whatever. And the concept of, at an early stage in life, like in your 20s, trying to find a mate, connecting with them and staying with them to make that atomic family and staying together the entire time, that concept is gone as well. So what do you get? You get less children being born, and it's only getting worse and worse.
But the population will always go up. It'll never go down. Even if the child rate goes down, it's still not going to stop the population from growing.
At a certain, what was it, China or Japan? They had a negative. They had a deficit.
Japan.
There were more people dying than there were children being born.
Yeah, because the men don't want to. There's a whole thing, I'm not being funny, there's a whole meme that's going around for Japanese women. I'm sorry, Chinese women versus Japanese women, or vice versa. And it's a thing. It's usually in their native language, so it's a little, unless it has subtitles, it's hard to gauge. But the idea is that a Japanese woman that is single and a Chinese woman that is single pleads their case why a Japanese man should be with one or the other. And the arguments are, and I'm not going to do it as funny, but the argument is a Japanese woman will let you go do what you want to go do and then make your food. And then a Chinese woman will nag about it. And then the Chinese women are actually agreeing that they care more about you and what you're doing. Well, and it's good arguments back and forth. And then there's another part of this whole meme thing where Japanese men then chime in, and they'll show those two, and then they'll pick those two, and then they actually date the one that they pick. So it's like, I don't want to call it a dating game, but it's do what you say, and then that's apparently in Japan, that is adequate for if we get a divorce. You said on a video you were going to do this. Like, this is a rabbit hole. You said on this video you were going to do this. I picked you. You don't do this. We get a divorce. We were never married. Yeah. So,
I've seen Korean videos like that where they ask the women Would you, if you have a good man, would you be okay with him floundering and cheating
Yeah,
on you and whatever? And
I've seen that.
That's kind of the same
go like,
thing. It's kind of the
yeah,
same thing. It's kind of the same
as
thing.
long as he is good for, he can do whatever he wants. They're so desperate to get a man that they'll.
Yeah, they said that right in the video. As long as he comes back to me and he takes
Mm,
care of me, yeah, it's only normal. That's
yeah. If he's good
that
to
was
me, he can do
insane.
whatever
Yeah,
he
I saw
wants.
that.
Maybe we should have some of that in Western society.
I don't think it will work. The way I see it, Matthew, it will work for the first or maybe even the second generation, and then it flips over again. If you import
Yeah,
them,
but
right?
now it's kind of skewed and it's flipped over too much to one side now. So
Yeah, we gave them their independence. Can't take it back now.
So you really don't think that you could fix them, Matthew?
gayness. Do you want better? I even sometimes I go like, what if they didn't try to counter it? Maybe he wouldn't have gone total super sissy. He would have just been gay. But now, as an act
Reverse
of
psychology?
rebellion, he's yeah, as an act of rebellion, he's really, really over the top gay. So maybe if they would have accepted it and channeled it in a better way, I don't know.
It's okay.
It could go either way, of course, but
There's granules.
So many variables. I don't think there's one way to avoid it.
there is a chance if you go too hard, they will rebel and just do the opposite of what you want. So what is the best thing to do? I don't know. And it depends, like you said, probably case by case.
So if your son came out to you right now, Matthew, and told you that he was gay, how would you take that?
Ooh, wouldn't like it any.
Would you try to convince him otherwise?
I have a serious talk with him, yeah. If it turns out there's nothing to do about it, yeah, okay, there's nothing to do. I'm not gonna kick him out because he's gay then, but
Ooh, I got a follow up question on that. Would you feel like you failed like a parent as a parent? Because in my
I would.
story, in the back
I
of
would.
my, I would feel that way, like I did something wrong.
I didn't raise him right.
Yep. But that goes against what I originally said, because
yeah.
I still believe there's some hereditary part in that as well. I truly believe that.
Now, if you made a sissy boy, a weep wimp out of a kid, that would be on you. Not per se a gay kid, but like weak, whiny, sissy, that would be upbringing. That would be on you. But if
You
he's
know,
born and he's gay,
I
that's
don't know about
that's
that born being gay. I mean, science stepped into that, and
well, they said there was a small deviation, right? Or no?
right, it's not. There's no one gay gene, but genetics are linked to same-sex behavior.
so again, it's in the brain, right? It's something else in your brain, or something is wired different in your brain. So it could be
The,
genetics, or it could be pure dumb luck, but it's still in your brain.
you know, that's the only way to actually solve that would be, well, not solve it, but to establish it is the same thing with the trans thing. Is
listen
go
to
to
this.
some tribe that's completely remote and
We
see if it
present an
happens over there.
overview of behavioral genetics research on homosexual and heterosexual orientation. Family, twin, and adoptee studies indicate that homosexuality and thus heterosexuality runs in families. Sibling, twin, and adoptee concordance rates are compatible with the hypothesis that genes account for at least half of the variance in sexual orientation. So it is genetic.
So, but half, that means it's a bit of both then, right? Or no?
Right, but then that Okay, then the argument
So you
you said is that
confirm
maybe
it's gay, or
75%, maybe 75%, but only 25% of them are like, no, I'm going to suppress that. I'm going to force myself to like coochie.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, then nowadays you have the tendency of, oh, you're a hero because you're gay, the faux gay, just for the attention. Ah,
Well, and then it goes back into, is it something that is by design?
and if your daughter came home and said she was gay, would you mind it as much as if your son did it?
Absolutely. I'm not, I have no double standards. It would bother me.
Yeah.
Whether you are sucking dick or eating coochie, either way.
Regardless of that, I can see you want the best for your kids, so you want them to be happy. But every single person on this panel knows the traditional way, which is also the more easy way, if you look at that way, is gonna give them less headaches and troubles along the way. So you would want for them to have a natural nuclear family. The other route is gonna be nothing but misery. Even though societal we've become more accepting of that lifestyle, it's still not the norm. It will never be the norm.
That goes back into what I said earlier. The traditional family, nuclear family, is getting harder and harder to obtain because of different factors. It's not a thing anymore.
I don't even know how you test this. If you have, I was gonna say if you have a mother and she's gay, but then that's not gonna work. So if it runs in the family, it doesn't make sense that it runs in the family because you wouldn't exist.
Well, the only way to do it is, like I said, Jay, if it's hereditary and it's not a social or an environment impulse that triggers it, you would need to go to some remote tribe and see if they have gay or trans people living there. Then you would have proof. Oh, okay, it's hereditary. They all hunt.
So what would
and
be
you have one dude that's going out there just picking berries all day? That's your proof.
Wait, so you're saying that if there was not a gay person on the island or a trans is a different field, right? We're not talking about
true.
We're talking about gay sexuality, right?
Yes.
Because even trans still maintain their same sexuality. They just want to be a different person. So, like a guy likes women, but then wants to turn into a woman to like women. You're still straight. You're just confused.
Yeah.
But
very.
But if you, so are you saying if there's no straight people, if there are straight people on this island, it's what, not hereditary?
Yeah, that's the only conclusion you can do, right? Because then you have 100% proof that it's not hereditary, it's societal, because it wouldn't exist in those tribes. There would be no influence, there would be no gay or lesbian giving that to the next generation.
So let me break this down for you.
Exists.
Let me show you something. This is why I don't think it's hereditary. You have three people. You have two people, okay? Mother and father. Inside of his genes, he's somewhat of he's half a fag, right? This guy on the right.
Mm-hmm.
They have a baby. This baby either gets some of his genes or does not, right? So let's just say he gets the genes. This baby is now gay. This baby will not create any babies to keep going on with that genetic.
Oh. Well, unless.
But hold on. Now, if these two have two babies, okay? I don't know. Has two babies, okay? This one is straight, and then this one is gay. Does this one that's straight have a little bit of gayness inside of him? So either way, if you're saying it's genetic and he has a baby, that baby's now got 75%, he's only going to get a max of what came out of half the parent, right? He's not going to get 100%. So now the gene is so small and diluted, it's like regular white people having black children. Can it happen? Yes. How odd is it? Better chances? No. You have a better chance of having a black baby than you do actually winning the lottery. But so how does it genetic then if nobody is having that baby?
Well, but there are a bunch of them that are closet gays that do have children, do have babies.
Sure. Right. Okay, then that would okay.
But you're right. Would still not explain the explosive growth of all of a sudden.
Doesn't make sense.
A lot of
it doesn't add up. It's not possible. You're just.
Well, that's why I said with the island, that would prove it's not hereditary. That would prove it's societal.
Unless you take into consideration IV.
Well, you also have to take in consideration environment as a whole. They're eating non-processed shit. We eat a lot of stuff and we have a lot of pollution. Now, can you prove that influences people's genetics? No, because you probably won't find any studies on that.
But on that island, they're probably going to have real male role examples as well. It's not the sissy that's going to go after the tiger or the ape in the woods to knock the head off. And
then we just disproved our hereditary thing then. Because then you go back to it being societal. Because then it's influences. Then it's not a genetics. It's people raising you.
No, but I'm saying unless you have gay people in that community, you cannot check if it's nurture versus nature. Because if there's only strong male roles and you still have gay, then that has nothing to do with it. But you'd have to have both to make a comparison, right?
But I don't think it would exist over there.
I don't think it would either. I don't think it would because they would nip it even if there was that small. And the idea is that if it is genetic and somewhere in there you do have that 1 in 400 million chance of, having a baby that is gay. If you force that one to have children, then it's now what? 1 in 800 million. I mean, don't split it in half. It could go by a third. It could go by a quarter. So it still remains there, right? No matter what.
It can
I think it really comes down to the parents, man. You ask anybody that is gay, right? You got Phil that's in the chat right there. But you got anybody that's gay that wants to come on this panel to help clear this up. But what besides were you raised? Barry. Besides Barry, because he ain't worth a shit right now. Who raised you? Were you raised by a strong male figure and a strong woman figure, or were your parents split up? Probably the case. Or was the man not around? Maybe also the case. I feel like the lack of fatherhood and heterosexuality can cause someone to play for the other team.
See, but that's where it gets weird because it can be societal as well. Look at the ancient Greeks. In those days, it was normal to pair a young boy with an older, knowledgeable guy that will become his teacher, and that would usually have they would have a relationship. It was normal in those days.
Look at what Phil typed in the chat. He was raised predominantly by his mom. His dad was not in the picture. And I think that's what it's going to come down to is I'd be very interested to find somebody that is a strong, when I'm saying strong, I'm talking man, construction guy, Harley guy, motorcycle, tough man. And then a gay kid is born.
But there's also a second problem that I'm kind of thinking of right now. We're going back. What was the time period? The 50s, where the women stayed home and the men went to work.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
50s
50s
predominantly.
and 60s, yeah.
Okay, so the man came home
And 40s.
and then probably, yeah, and then the women or the mom would say to him, "Yeah, he's been acting out," and smack the kid around, probably, and that was his way of
Discipline.
raising the kid. But if you're taking into account the amount of hours the moms or the women would spend with the kid, it's more than the men. So you would think in that time frame, even though the man was less around, you would have more gays there because it was
Oh,
predominantly under
because
the mom's care,
Yeah,
but
but
the
now
men
you
were strong.
okay. So taking that analogy, take the men that were in combat, that were whatever in
Hmm.
war or wherever they were. How many of them turned gay from the men's men that were not around? Then we could argue the gene thing versus discipline.
Yeah, yeah.
but still,
Comes
even
into
even
mind
even
if
in the
you're that
50s,
strong.
John,
Oh,
God, Matthew.
even in the 50s, John, that was a strong male role model.
Oh yeah.
that's
That
Oh
was
yeah.
yep.
was
That's what I
somebody
was getting at.
to be respected, to be feared,
Oh yeah.
to
Oh
be
yeah.
he had final say.
Oh
He
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's what you get now. You get certain type of people that like to have children and then live off the money they get from the government, and then they it's a female and she's raising boys without any male. It's a running joke. Yeah, there's no dad in the house, but the fact that there is no dad is because they don't want a dad in the house. And then you've
I
got
don't like
only a
that.
female raising boys. That's never a good thing. They don't have
It's
any
a.
role
It's
models, and then
also.
they take to the streets.
Yeah, it's also a weaker way of raising them. How many times have you been to a store where the kid is acting out and they take him and they have a stern talking to him? Not even a smack. Like I'm not going to discuss how a 4-year-old, which apparently can't even control his own bowel movements, how to conduct himself. If he doesn't do it the way I want him to do it, I got smacked around. He's gonna get a smack. I don't care if it is in public. It works. You have the proof is in the pudding. It works.
I
It,
think at a
it
certain
always
point,
works.
each kid tries to do that. Have the temper tantrum in
Yeah.
the shop because they want something in there. Well, my kid tried it once.
Yeah. Did you have a stern talking to him?
Oh, mm.
I'm just saying the talking alone doesn't work.
Let's call it very stern. I actually
I
left
mean,
him.
let's step away from being gay for a moment. If you look at with kids when we went to school, right? I don't know in Belgium, Barry, you could chime in anytime. But when we went to school, actually you can't because you're gay. So, but when we went to school, if you act up, there was no such thing as ADHD, no ADD. You acted up, you got smacked in the
No.
face, you fixed yourself. So
Yep.
what has changed?
Yep.
The glucose? Is that what it is? Is the glucose what changed it?
no.
Is that where we started getting?
Oh, we've become softer.
Right, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, but there was no such thing as ADD or ADHD back then. Your kid is not paying attention. Talk to him. Dad smacks you around, guess what? Now you're getting bees.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's the
Yep.
same thing, right, Jay? You, Matthew, you and me as well. If you had a bad report card, or the teacher would inform your parents, like he's acting up
I'm
in
getting my
class and
ass
he's
kicked.
not paying attention. Yes, but now it's the other way around. Now the teacher is getting his ass kicked.
Yep. How
Because
do
you're
you
supposed to
dare
care
say this
more
to my
about-
son?
You're supposed to care more about people's feelings than your own.
Oh, and it's going very
Yeah,
well
feelings
for
are-
society as a whole. Very well.
Feelings are more important than anything else, even normal reasoning or the thing that's
Rational
the
thought.
right thing to do. Feelings are more important, and you shouldn't step on anybody's feelings because that's a big no-no. How dare you?
I
Well-
wonder how that's going to pan out if we really get into a conflict. You're going to get some feminine guy there. That's not nice. In wartime, how is that going to pan out? Stop it. You're bullying him.
gonna run if the bullets start flying around. Oh no, I'm gonna chip a nail.
You know, and that was the thing too. Like you couldn't be gay in the military. That was unacceptable. And then they removed that.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, they removed it. Now you could go in, as gay as a $3 bill. It's, I don't think that they're any different aside from just their sexuality. I honestly, it's hard to say, man. I get it about the attraction. If you're attracted to a man or a male physique, this is going to sound weird. And I mean this with all due respect for all my gays in here. I'm attracted to females, right? So if I was to masturbate, I would look at females. Yes? If you're attracted to males, do you look at yourself and then masturbate to yourself?
Ooh.
Because you find men's figures attractive?
Unless your body is not that attractive.
Now that's hard. Hold on. That's hard for us to say as straight people. We can't answer that question because even if we're narcissistic and we find ourselves sexy, we wouldn't have sex with ourselves. So, but
sometimes.
if what did you say? Someone said sometimes.
Oh. It's sometimes, yes.
There you go. Okay, so that puts a whole different spin on it than that.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a giant ego.
No, I don't think that is an ego. I don't think that's a giant ego. I think that's how their brain is. That's
yeah, but now you're
like
now
if I was attracted to here. Look, watch. I'm transgender, right? But I don't go all the way. I'm attracted to a woman's body. I get myself a set of tits. I love them. In theory, I can look at myself in the mirror, right? Neck down to boobs because they're the perfect boobs, and then masturbate to those boobs. I'm not trying to be funny. You're playing a game with your mind that this is what you want. Well, here you got them. So it would make sense for a gay person to masturbate to themselves if they find that same gender or that same sex attractive.
I can see that, but it's just weird to me that you think of yourself that attractive that you're now getting off on yourself. I can see why you.
But look, Antonis said it with his girlfriend Phil. The gay guy said he does it, so it makes sense. So,
on a certain level, it does. It's just still weird.
Why is it weird?
Because you now find yourself so attractive that you're getting off on yourself.
I don't think it's a matter of finding yourself so attractive. It's just that's what you're attracted to.
Yeah. The male silhouette.
Yeah, but you're still
like you're not attracted to big old obese ladies, right, Jordan?
No.
Right, no. But you're attracted to coochie.
Yes.
So she's got a blanket around her whole body and there's just a vagina. Do you really give a shit what's underneath the blanket? You ever been to a glory hole? You give a shit what's on the other side? No. Okay, so that proves the point. So if your mind is working its wonders and it says you look fine as shit, go ahead and jizz on your own titties.
Yeah, I can see that. But that's also to a certain level, right?
Well, if you like titties, it's a good way because you have access to titties 24/7 then.
No. I was saying with Jay's example, like the really obese women, that also plays into a certain kind of desperation. If you really that horny, you'll lower your standards. No?
I guess desperation works. I say when you're in prison for so long, they start looking at dudes.
Yeah.
That also raises an eyebrow. Did you guys ever look up the booty thief or the guy I told you about?
You showed it. Yes.
Booty warrior. So he was straight as shit, and then when he went into jail, he couldn't get no coochie. So he started liking men. Is that a choice? I don't know.
I think that's desperation and a lack of something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We can all.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, Matthew. You put a normal dude in incarceration for a year, he'll have sex with a doorknob.
I still wouldn't go
even
for
if
an
you
ass.
take a
man
dude that
that.
goes to the military for 3 months for basic training, he'll fuck the egg salad that's on the plate. So, and that's just 3 months of deprivation. Your hormones are on the fritz. You know, it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
I've been celibate for quite a while now, and I still don't find a man's butt attractive, and I still wouldn't want to go in there. By your guys' standards, I should want to hip
No,
everything
because
that.
you still have access. No, hold on, because you still have access to see women, right? When you're in prison, you don't really get the flicks. You don't really get the internet to browse those websites. So there are no other alternative options. The only other option is look a starfish, right?
Bang 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 bang.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is you got what's in your head, but if you're locked up for 20 years, you probably remember the dude you banged last week before the chick you banged 20 years ago.
Start looking alike.
Yeah, you start adding like paper mache to the head for a makeshift wig. I don't,
How do you look in this mop? Well, with the fat guy, the fat woman, and there are certain men who love again proclivity, who love that type of woman. And you put a skinny chick in front of them, they don't want it.
it brings up the old saying, I guess there's somebody out there for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's another dude or opposite sex.
The one thing I never got was if you're gay. We've talked about this before, actually. But if you're gay, I would think if you love you're a man and you love the way a man looks and acts, you're hot for a man's man. Why are those really faggies even an option? The same thing with women. If you like women, I would think you would like a woman that is as female and as
Agree. As feminine as possible. Yeah.
But then
Well, why
there's
go
the
to a
disconnect
guy?
as well, right?
That's like someone.
Yeah,
That's like someone that's confused and they don't know what they want.
Yeah, but there's also that disconnect, right? Because you now have the physical attraction. We've discussed this as well before. You can have the physical attraction, but that person is just horrible on the inside. We can still be physically attracted to that. So maybe that's the same thing.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I would make that I know this sounds cold and shallow, but I'd make that sacrifice. I would. My second wife is a great example. She was as smart as this drip tip over here, but boy, she could fuck, and her body was a 9 out of 10. So if you can't answer a simple question like, "Do you have underwear on?" But you could suck the hair off my balls, I'm gonna have to go with the latter. I don't care that you don't know if you have underwear.
Male. That's male.
I know it sounds cold and shallow, but I'd take a hot dummy over a smart ugly.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
That's great.
Isn't that more?
That's great that you
isn't
can
that
do
more-
algebra, but you can't figure out where my dick is. So, I don't know. To me, looks.
That's more
looks.
true for men, no?
What? What, that
I
we
think
care
that's
more about
more-
looks?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Women don't care about your looks. You know what they care about? Your confidence.
Mhm. See,
That's it.
I think that's more true.
Ask
for
all the
us,
women in the
physical
chat.
appearance.
Ask all the women in the chat. Where my ladies at? If your men are confident, strong, tough men, do you really care what they look like? Yeah, ask all the ladies. It's confidence, bro. Confidence lands a pussy, not your looks. Now, if you got those two
provider as
together,
well, right?
if you got those two together, that's a win.
And money.
But that's more provider. That's provider. If you have, I'm willing to bet if you have that strong man role pattern and that confidence, I'm gonna side with the fact that you're also probably a good provider and taking care of your
There you go.
significant other.
Two ladies in the chat. Confidence, confidence. I'm telling you, you could. I'm not obviously if you're like super, super ugly. That's not what we're talking about. But if you're average or not very attractive and you have some good features, your confidence will supersede that. 100%.
But
100%.
something that goes into that, the last thing I sent in WhatsApp says something different.
Okay, hold on. Let me pop that open. Give me a second. Pop that here. Pop that there. Put that there. Okay, this is where we have the error. It's where I'm going to try to remove Barry for a minute. Hold on. Let's go there, and then I think I have to do this.
Okay. Audio. Oh, it's
audio.
muted.
Oh, is it? No.
No, it was unmuted.
Stand by. Now?
No.
No.
Nothing?
No.
Nothing. Damn, Daniel.
Damn, that was a good one.
Stand by. Let's try this. Let's try this. Damn it. Hold on. Tell me if this works.
No.
Audio.
No audio.
Nope. Okay. Oh, can't do it.
What is it
That
with
sucks.
those clips? Yeah. One time they would. Sometimes it works,
That's weird.
sometimes it doesn't. Huh? Was a good one.
Okay. Try this one more time.
No.
Nothing. Wow.
Nothing.
Damn it.
Is that them shielding it in some way or fashion so you can't use it?
Yeah. Shit. No, wow, I can't do it. Give me 1 second. All right, how about now? Had to just write some coding in. Let's see if this works. Try one more time. Nothing?
Nope. Nothing.
All right, hold on. How about this? Nope.
No.
No.
How about this?
Still no.
No.
Damn it!
And you've gotten to work, so
Yeah, I got nothing. Oh well, that sucks.
yeah, it was pretty good.
So anyway, but yeah, going back to the confidence, I think that the confidence, I think if you take a guy that looks good and is straight, and he's just sitting by staring at a good-looking woman, that woman is not going to walk up to him. Most women will not walk up to him, regardless of how good he looks. And then he walks up to her, he'll probably land it, but he's not going to be able to keep it. The guy that has the confidence will walk up to the woman and be able to keep it and land it.
I agree. Yep.
But you think
And then it also
for a fling or a one night thing, maybe it's more gonna be the good looking guy.
I think the confidence guy's still gonna get it because he'll know
Still.
what to buy her. He'll know how to manipulate her in a sense where she just kind of, here's my pennies.
no.
It's got to be hard for gay people though, right? Especially if nobody's got that super flamboyancy. How does another gay know when another person is gay? If we can't
have a
say
gay-
that they have a gaydar. Well, hold on now. If you can't say that a straight person, right? Because we can look at somebody and say he's definitely gay. He has mannerisms alone. But you can't say that because you're wrong. They're in touch with their feminine side, which is a nice way of saying he is gay. He just doesn't know it yet. But if
he's an aspiring hairdresser. That's
Yes.
the way he's saying.
if it's got to be hard for a gay person because you don't know walking down the street versus a woman, you kind of know that's the opposite sex. Hey, what do you say there, sweet tits? Versus a guy, you got to be careful because it's got to be difficult. That's why I see less and less gay people because they don't know who's gay, who's not.
It's becoming more and more difficult.
I'm just gonna go back to the pussy because it was easy identifiable. Like that's
I'll cure myself.
yeah. There's a
Well,
set of
that's not
boobs.
true anymore. That's also not true anymore.
Yeah, now you might land that and find out they got a penis. You end up like me.
Now I wonder if a gay dude walks up to another gay dude, and the other one isn't really interested. If they would go, "Oh, I'm actually straight," just to get rid of him, instead of saying, "I'm not really interested."
And then the gay guy says, "No, you're not. You're not straight."
And they get in an argument, start wrestling,
and then they kiss. You got me.
I think at some point the gay hookup culture was easier than the straight.
Yeah, because it was all contained in certain clubs, right?
What if people that are bisexual are not really bisexual? They're just bisexual because they can't land the other one, so they're just willing to take anything that they can get.
Ooh.
But I mean, if you cast the biggest net, you're gonna catch something eventually. That's percentages wise, it's a good bet.
And if someone is bisexual, do they flirt with men and women the same, or do they favor one over the other? Then they're not really bisexual.
I think it requires a different approach, no? That's
You're asking
interesting.
the wrong
That would
person,
be interesting.
bro. You're asking the wrong person.
Barry,
I don't know.
Whenever you feel like it, jump in.
Whenever you're ready, just go ahead.
No, he just sent me a message. He was offended by what we're saying.
Oh,
So he's gonna.
That makes sense.
He's gonna protest and.
He's gonna leave. Yeah,
Get
there you
us
go.
cancelled.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
Jesus
Aw.
Christ. What a
Why did you
sassy.
call him out, bro? You shouldn't have said anything.
No, he messaged me. He said, "What you guys are talking about, it's really offensive." So I don't know.
Now we just lost another hazer.
Yeah, another one bites the
Jeez.
dust.
Damn it. Oh, welcome
Ah,
back,
he's
Barry.
That's his brother, Harry.
No.
He's straight.
Harry and Barry. What a set of-
Harry is a very manly man.
They're twins. They
They
look
have the
exactly
same.
alike.
Yeah, they said the same silhouette. I mean, it's just.
I think they still live in the same house because Harry doesn't have a camera either.
Yeah, they're in their 30s. They still live at home.
Do you think that a man can be straight for so long and then just had enough of it and just said, "I'm gonna try out the other side"?
Don't think so.
Well, if you kind of think about it, if you've had nothing
You ever seen
but
Brokeback
trouble-
Mountain?
No, I passed on that one. It was good.
I don't like cowboy movies.
For living together, it
They're
would
more
make
like
sense to
ass
live together
rangers
than
than they are cowboys, but yes. Pew, pew, pew. There's a lot of shooting going on, but it ain't guns. They're usually single shooters. So you don't think that someone could be straight and then just say, you know what? I've done this for 40 years. I want to see what the other side's like.
more in women than in men, actually.
So you're saying it is possible.
That's probably screwed up in my mind because it sounds or is more visually appealing or sounds more or better. But I think it's more for women. I can see that.
Do you think there's more gay men in society or more gay women?
Ooh.
Whew, that's how would you measure that?
Well,
I would
more
think
men.
more gay men.
Yeah, more men try to be trans women than trans women try to be, or women try to be trans men, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't know about that.
A gay identity was more common among men, 6.1%, than women at 1%. And the opposite was true for heterosexuality, men 89.9% and women 95%. There are no differences were found in a share identifying as bisexuality between 2 to 4 or 5%. 2.4% for men, 2.5% for women. So when it comes to gayness, more men are willing to openly admit it than women. And when it comes to straightness, more women are willing to do it than men. Wow.
But when a
Wow.
female says to you, "Gay," a woman,
Wow.
a woman you know, and she says, "Well, I experimented in college," you're still. I'm willing to bet you're gonna look at that differently than when a guy comes up to you and said, "Oh, I experimented in college." No.
I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens.
Yeah, I don't think men are out there, at a frat party sucking each other's dick. I could be wrong. I could have went to all the wrong frat parties, but I've never seen that. They've never,
That's the excuse, right? Two girlfriends got tipsy and then one thing led to another. I don't think it happens with men.
I don't know. There are gay people at college, so gay men as well.
Yeah,
And-
but you've gotten drunk in a bar before. Have you ever woken up next to a dude? Oh,
No,
Jesus,
but
I
I'm
Hold
not
on.
gay, and I
Hold
don't have the
on.
proclivity.
This is where I chime in. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't even waking up next to it. Was something
No.
completely different.
No.
Yeah, but
I looked down
would
and
you
I was
call
like,
that
whoa, buddy.
Oops.
Yeah, but that's
That's
still
not
different.
different.
You would
That's even
you would have
worse.
called it.
I was bamboozled.
Yeah, you would.
I
trick.
was-
That's different.
But maybe I wasn't. I was so fucking high. She might have been like, I do got a dick. That's fine. It's an illusion. I'm
See, but
tripping my
that's-
balls off.
That's a point of no return. I was like, But
I mean,
that's
what do you
different.
do
The
in that
other one is-
situation? Honestly, what do you do? You're already in.
You man up and finish that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Don't quit. You're already in. You might as well just get rid of it. Look, I admitted that shit with like 3,000 people in a live chat. I don't care. That does not mean that I like men. That means that I like transgenders. Let's be clear. Let's
Yeah, but
let's be more clear about it, okay?
But the difference I'm saying is for the two women, it's I'm experimenting. You're curious. You weren't curious. You were, for a lack of better words, bamboozled, like you said.
Don't try to justify. You were saying you never go to a club, right, and wake up
I've
next
never
to a
been
dude.
that-
Right, I
I've
have.
never been that.
Again, I don't
Yeah.
recommend you to come to a New York club single because that might happen to you too. It's a surprise. That's all I'm saying. Is you don't know where to go from here.
Surprise.
If it happens, it happens. I mean, I got myself drunk. I'll
Figure it out, bro.
take the blood.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole lot you can do. Just kind of run with it.
Yeah, but then I
That's
still
how-
wouldn't go to people. Yeah, I experimented once. No, I got tricked, and I was already there, and I finished it like a big boy.
Don't you? That's not on your bucket list before you die to be able to say you banged a tranny. No, we have different lists. We have different buckets. Okay.
I'm just not that brave.
Oh,
I mean,
Willing to bet?
we've discussed it before. The Blair White, that's a tricky one. That's
that's one you'd make an exception.
that's
Was
That's a
that in
tricky one.
Discord or was that a live where we were talking about banging? No, that was a Discord, right? Would you rather be with a man? That
think
wasn't
we
in.
asked it.
Live as well.
Did we?
Because we asked Spade.
Oh yeah. We did in Outside of Society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather be with a man that is all woman, and still has a penis, or would you rather be with? Wait. Yeah. With a woman that has a womanly face, womanly body, but has a penis, or be with a man that's got a beard, no boobs, and a vagina. And Matthew said he would take the vagina one with the beard. Me and Joan, on the other hand, we'll take the baloney. We'll take the salami one. So that's
And the female traits. The female traits.
yeah,
are very
female
important.
traits. Yeah. Because Matthew, all he cares about is that they got coochie lips. He don't
He
care
doesn't
about
mind
anything
the
else.
The 5 o'clock shadow or a nice beard.
Nope.
And the hairy back. Jeez.
Yo, no way. There's no way. There's no way we could lay down together. There's no way we could cuddle. We could eat some popcorn and watch a movie. Oh. No. I'm taking the penis.
His deep voice. Yeah, Daddy, just like that, brother. Yeah.
Now you're adding things on.
Oh, it's got to be a feminine guy?
You don't get to pick and choose.
But we originally said the face
Uh-huh.
is that of a man, or the face is that of a woman, but it has breasts, vagina, and the other way around. It has a female face, but it has all male attributes. That was the original thing we said. So in that case, yeah, give me the itchy beard. I'll put a pillow over it.
No. If that is the one, I'm still going with the woman with the pretty face.
It would go with no boobs and a D.
I don't think we said no boobs. We said a woman's body and a man's body.
Yeah, that's how I remember it. But
A woman's body with a penis and then a man's body with a vagina.
we've asked this question a lot, and it's changed multiple times.
Even if it's just the woman's face, I'm still gonna go with the woman because when we're knocking boots, I can lock eyes.
I feel like guys, you don't see the beard anymore. So
Okay, if I
You
lock
have
eyes with
peripheral
you,
vision.
yeah, I don't know how close our noses are touching, but I promise you, I'm gonna feel your whiskers on my jams. They might even get
Doing this,
interlocked. Go to pull away, and now we're tangled in a little butterfly knot. I'm okay.
well,
I'll take
we
the
do
lead.
Eskimo kisses.
We rub noses. That's nice.
Eskimo kisses.
That's
Nice.
sweet. I like that. Nuzzle. I
There we
like
go.
that.
Another question. Therefore, is it okay for a transgender not to warn you in advance?
Wait, what transgender? Full blown? Like everything is flipped?
Yeah, even
For
that.
real.
I'm more along the lines of you think it's a woman and turns out it has a pee-pee.
No,
Should
then
it
you
have
need to
told
tell
you-
me that. You need to tell me that. But if you got a vagina, I don't care.
Even
you
if it
care?
turns
What?
into a
No, well,
relationship, you
let's
wouldn't-
flip this role. Let's flip this role. Let's just say your woman was a whore and she was a prostitute and she worked at a brothel and she's now changed. She's now a housewife. Aren't we supposed to forget about our past? That's the idea, right? Is what happened in the past is the past. That is general consensus. Is you shouldn't hold someone to that because that's not who they are anymore.
Can you really make your wife out of a hoe?
Yes. I did it. My second wife, I did it.
How did that end?
She sucked a bunch of black dicks, but that's because I wasn't there to control it, right? But for a little bit, I flipped her.
Yeah.
So yes, that's like saying, can someone that commits a crime truly recover? I believe they can. You guys say no. You guys are adamant on the no. You're very adamant on the no. A child popper
always
is a
said
no,
so.
right? That's your answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I disagree. I
wouldn't.
just disagree.
That's immediate disqualification.
I disagree. That's
Yes.
No, I disagree. And what about a hippo?
Well,
one?
I think it's more.
What about a hippo? One?
I think it's more along the lines that it can be forgotten or forgiven. That's
I agree.
atrocity.
1,000,000% with that. 1,000,000%. What about a person that hippos? Can they change? Come
Real
on,
hippo. So I don't think so. Yeah, maybe if they get chemically castrated or something again.
It's not only that. It always comes back to if they can change. Yes, maybe they can, but it's the thing is, society wise, are you willing to take the risk to release it again, and maybe it happens again? And I
They
go
do
straight
it.
to no.
They do it with murderers.
And I also don't agree with that.
I'll agree with that. If you're going to do one for one, you do one for all. So if you say there's a victim and this victim was helpless, regardless of whatever the crime was, is 30 years. That's it. Across the board. 30 years. Or till you're 55. Pick one, whichever one comes first. Unless you do it at 54, then no, you don't get a year. I think anything can be fixed.
But even you have said, Jade, that there's certain people, not really
This is
criminals
true.
in this case,
This
are
is
a
true.
lost cause.
This is true. This is true. Yes. I know
There's
that
people
makes me
where it can
sound
keep
like a
going.
hypocrite, but maybe it's a lost cause because I gave up after 6 years. You know, like with Danielle, I don't think anybody would say that I did not give that woman more
Nope.
chances than not even. I gave more chances than her husband did. Right? I gave. He gave up
And
before
a
I
side
did,
note
and he
on
was
that.
with me the same amount of time she was with me. So, yeah, I think that falls on the person that's putting forth the effort. If you want to die trying,
Yeah, but if you are willing to admit that you gave up and you're
I
not
gave
even
up.
one of the people, it's your number one when it comes down to persistency, that says a lot.
Yeah, I gave up. I tried, bro.
Multiple people tried.
So, but I do think that people
But
can change, and that's even including that gay person. I don't know if you could
Mhm.
change a gay person that's been gay for 40 years. I don't think so. I think that that's kind of set in stone. A child, yes, I do. I'm also the same
But
guy
we
that
all
thinks somebody
agree
that
it
hippos
needs.
that someone can come out and not hippo anymore.
But do you agree that it has to come both ways? It can't just be you or an external person in this case helping them out. They need to want to change. It has to
A
come
lot of people
both
say
ways. You
that it
can't
has
just.
to. You have to want it inside. The only
Yeah.
argument I have for that is I would agree with that 6 months ago. The only argument I have for that is Brie. Because it's the only thing ever in my life that I did not like at all. I wouldn't have cared if she died, and then I grew to love her. So that tells you that even if you don't want to change, you're going to. There's a message there.
Yeah, but
Like,
she
I did
also
not like her.
she
I
also changed, right?
despised her.
But she also changed, right?
Yes,
So there
but
was both ways, like you met in the middle.
well, that wasn't instant. I mean, that she started working
No,
for
no,
me.
no, of course not.
Yeah, that took years. But that was not the end goal. Is I'm willing to accept all this part because I've grown to love this woman. So I do think that you can change someone or something all by yourself. How much effort do you want? If you could do it for yourself, why can't you do it for someone else? Right? Like if you're willing to lose weight or get ripped and you put your motivation aside and put all your energy into that, you will achieve it. I truly believe that.
Mhm.
So if you could do that with you and you're set, you're good. Why can't you now redirect your motivation and push that onto somebody else and push them to get motivated? Why is that unacceptable? That's not controlling. It's trying to help
Because
them
you,
get
you
out of
just
the situation they're in.
no, no, you're gonna push them to be motivated. Them, they have to, at the end of the line. They still have to be the one that's motivated. It's not your motivation. You have to get them to be motivated.
But then still, it's not on them. It's on you to get them there.
But if
Yeah,
they
but then
don't
I think
want it,
selfishness
Nah,
comes into play.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I if if you take a kid, right, and you put them in gymnastics and they hate it, right? Like they despise it, and parents do this shit all the time. And you keep pushing it, they're going to excel, right? If that's the only thing you do, you're gonna be good at it. Yeah, you might get to a point where you're like, I hate it, but I'm so good at it, I have to do it. Right? And then you start to love it. It's like that Stockholm syndrome, right? God, it's so hard to explain. Take a drug user, right? The drugs are the best thing in their life. They think that that is the best until someone comes in their life and they push them to not do drugs. And then they start seeing the good results. And then they're like, you know what? This is good. I like it. They didn't want that. They wanted the drugs. But if you
Yeah, but-
push them hard enough to make them see what the other side is like, then they may want it. But it wouldn't happen without you, not with them.
How many times
Wait,
do you?
is that why they put
You guys
Something that
understand that
you
I'm a
use
master manipulator, right? Like you guys have seen this first. You've seen this.
Yeah,
How
but
many
is that-
times have you gone something that you really, and I use the word hate, something you really hate? How many times have you gone, oh no, let's keep doing it?
Bree. That's my example, bro. It's Bree.
Hate Brie? I don't believe you ever hated Brie.
severely disliked?
Not hate, like wish death upon them. Bree knows this. Like disdain, like you disgust me. Like your attitude bothers me. Like don't. You work good, but you as a person sucks. So that is the only example that I could give you, aside from smoking cigarettes, right? But that's a common thing. You just do it because of the high or the feel of it. But the only thing that I've ever truly disliked and watch it unfold into something so great would be Brie. I think I'm sure there's other things in all of our lives. Look, parents are a great example. You have a kid. First year, you probably hate it. You probably hate it. But then you grow to love that kid, right? You've seen this in shows and movies, so clearly it happens, right? There's people that don't like their kids, and then they just start to grow on them.
Yeah.
Or an ugly dog. So you just get used to it. I know these are shitty examples, but I truly think that even if someone does not want it, if you push them enough to see the other side, they will change.
You have to get them to that point.
And it's not
where
like
they
it's
are.
a bad thing. It's not like it's a bad thing. Like, Tron, look how good Brie is as a person. It's not.
So, but is it?
I know that's a really
you-
bad example because I'm talking about someone that I'm married to. You know, it's a bad. It makes me sound bad. But you ask Brie, ask her on her own how she feels towards me. It's not Stockholm. She can fucking go back to Jersey anytime she wants. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is possible. I do. How much time do you want to put in?
But was it you that was persistent, or did she wore you down? And she was persistent in this case because she wanted. And I remember the conversation you had that she asked you, "What do I need to change?" And she also put in that effort.
Oh.
The first time it all started, so obviously I saw her every day. I forced myself to see her because I needed the employee, which is fucking weird. So she started working there, and there was no physical attraction at all. Frumpy as shit. I saw her every day. It was like you would work with anybody else. And one day I walked past her, and I was like, "Are you ever gonna go to the gym?" And then she looked at me. She says, "Why?" I said, "I'm getting a little thick down there in the region." She's like, "You think I need to go to the gym?" Well, I asked you, didn't I? So yes, I do. Just like that is how the conversation went down. But you're my employee. I'm not going to tell you to go to the gym. I'm just asking you if you're ever going to go to the gym. I'll start going to the gym. And then she walked into work one day with a pair of jeans from Walmart. And I said, "That's what you're going to wear to work and present yourself? What else should I wear?" "I don't know. Anything other than those pants." This is exactly how this conversation went down. "Okay. What color should I get?" "Black." Comes in. They're black Walmart jeans. "Buy a different brand, Brie. They look terrible." "Okay." She gets Sam's Club. "Don't get those either. That's also Walmart. Let's go to the mall. Let me buy you some tracksuits. Let's put some eyeliner on or mascara and then hair gel." And then she started smiling when everybody started talking to her. Because that's the new her. Did I change that? No, I think Bree did. But to answer your question, she made me love her. To answer that question, not the other way around.
But you also see that there was a willingness to change from her. If she was so opinionated,
but it was not for a sexual relationship. It was to become a better person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jay, is there was a willingness from her to change. She knew. Oh.
She did not know. She only knew when I brought it to her.
Yeah.
That's the point, is because I showed her the way. Without me, she would still be wearing Walmart jeans and be hair in a fucking knot and just... Guys, you don't know the old Brie. You don't know, okay? She was a mess, like a fucking vagrant, okay? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. So she would not have never known that because all of her previous lovers or boyfriends never told her that. They accepted her the way that she was. I was not trying to accept her as a lover. I was just trying to tell you, this is kind of cold. You've seen this in movies, but you're better than that. You know, like, you know.
But she was open to hear and do something about what you put down.
Accept the critique. No?
I don't know about looking at it in a positive way. When I first said, "Are you going to the gym?" Because she was probably like, "Okay." If that was the case, she'd be like, "Yes." You know, immediate make you happy. I was just her employer at that point. Usually, I'd go to jail at this point for sexual harassment. But I just don't give a shit. You know. So to me, it's a true love story. To see something that, and what we are today, I have never loved another woman the way I love that woman, and it's not because the way that I molded her. You guys know how I feel about Brie. So it's not, I truly do believe that in any case, you could take anybody and help them become better and not have a sexual relationship, help them not be a homeless person or be a hero.
Again, if the person is open to change. If they really don't want to change, you can pour everything in it you have.
But if they wanted to change, they wouldn't need you for it.
No,
yeah,
but
because
that's,
they don't
that's
have the resolve to do it.
You push them. You motivate them. If there's already an inkling inside of them that wants to change, that is open to change, and then you can motivate them and push them over the edge.
But without, but without you, they wouldn't know that they have that.
Yes.
Because they didn't do it themselves.
But it still has to be there. If a person is
there's people that's closed off.
But if it's there, but if it's there, sorry, John, but if it's there, then someone previously, and Brie was made fun of in school, okay? She was made fun of in school for the way she looked, the way she acted. She was childish. She knew that in school, did not fix it. So that argument is null. It's not till I came in her life and I said, "Are you going to go to the gym?" I wasn't making fun of her. It was just, are you going to do something about this? Versus, ew, you're ugly. So if that was inside of her when they said she was ugly and unattractive and mean and whatever, she would have fixed it then. Which tells me it wasn't there.
That's the difference. You motivated her. You didn't go like, "You're ugly," like they did in school, or just laugh at her or whatever. You said you can do this and this and this and this and this to fix it. You motivated her to fix it. It's not like you went off on her or just called her names or whatever.
I don't agree, because what one person finds in motivation might not be motivated for another. For instance, I find motivation in people calling me fat on YouTube. Her motivation, people calling her ugly and fat, did nothing. So I don't agree with the motivation. I think it's the person. I get what you're saying about the motivate, but I think it's, you need the right person for the right job.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I think it is. You need a kick in the ass. You don't need to be dragged down to bring yourself back up. But
So you
and
think,
also,
so you think when she was in school, high school, sorry, when she was in high school, and somebody would have done the same thing as you did later on, she would not have taken to it or not accepted it or not improved herself.
you're saying if me and her, if I would have never said to her, "You're going to go to the gym," would someone else have said that, and then she would have done it, or would have someone else said that to her?
Even before someone else, when she was in high school, and they did what you did instead of berating her, try to motivate her that she wouldn't have done it.
Bree, I can't answer that question. I don't.
That
There's
is
your
true.
answer.
True. Yeah.
I
Yeah, and that's supposed to be the mom, right?
yeah, that would be the
So
mom.
Jake came along
Yeah.
and showed you what it was to be that way.
Hmm.
See, and people would see this in a textbook and they'd be like, "Wow, he's controlling." But no, bro, no, I'm not. I'm really not.
But
I don't know.
even if you are, if she wants it that way, what's wrong with that? That's like a trad wife. What's wrong with the trad wife?
No,
If
nothing.
she
I'm
really
just saying
wants
that
to
if
be
she
a
would have
trad wife-
never met me, the likelihood of that happening would be non-existent because it hasn't happened already, right? She was in her 25s. If you've been through 5 different boyfriends and one was a heroin junkie, the other one was a food junkie, and all of these people are such bad, and I'm not saying I'm a good influence, okay? Let's be clear. But I'm better than those. Obviously I am better than them because look at how she turned out. And I know it sounds weird, but I don't think she would have ever changed to who she is today on her own accord.
Nope.
I don't think so, no. So I don't think it was inside of her. I think I gave that to her as a gift. Look at how she talks, how she makes jokes like me. It's like she's my prodigy and my wife. You've seen this firsthand. So you see me in her. And I gave her that confidence. She didn't have it.
That means you cared enough about her to do so.
Yes, agree. I was willing to give you my life to make you become a better person.
I would
then
even
who
argue
decides-
that some of her verbal stabs are even more aggressive than yours.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, because now that's a different side. That's not confidence. That's all the asshole years of high school. I'm going to put it into a fucking one-liner and then just drop the microphone on your face.
Yeah. Dog Brie is brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Relentless.
That's inside witch bitch. Like that. That ain't me.
He needed a more attractive woman to sell stuff.
Yeah, people would say that I was grooming her 100%. But if someone, so the argument of grooming, I have the biggest problem with it. Could you say I groomed her? Yes. However, she demanded me to do it. That's the key. That's a grown-ass person saying, make me. She said that, I swear to God, she said, I'm your Barbie doll. Dress me how you want to dress me. That is her words. I don't want to do that. I want you to do it for me.
But why does it have that negative connotation? Because every measurement you can look at, it had and still has a positive outcome. So why don't you call it renovating or improving?
I think because they look at grooming as you're taking a fragile mind, which is what Brie was, a minor, typically a minor, and you're making them the way you want them as an adult, which is what grooming is.
Not the way they want to be. You're
Right.
completely.
But what if someone wants to be groomed like Brie? Then what?
But she was old enough to decide for herself whether or not she wanted to be groomed.
Absolutely. Way old enough.
Grooming,
Absolutely.
like you just said, is usually negative because it's not in a good way. You guys, you had a good result. She wanted it. Grooming is usually associated with in a bad
Just one
way.
party. Yeah, with one party.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then be taken advantage of and
Sure.
and
Sure.
all the other things.
Right. Making you do stupid things that you don't want to do, but it's probably for your best interest. Right. I agree. Agree. So it is grooming, but it's not in a sense where what the internet defines as grooming. No. I truly feel that anybody can change. Anybody. It's who's the person to show you the direction.
But you also agree that there's some people that are so stubborn and so set in their ways, they're unwilling to change. How many times you try?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've seen it firsthand as hazers. Absolutely.
Multiple times.
Yeah. We even have a new guy that does not change, no matter how many times he's on. So.
Yeah. Harry's brother, he's a piece of work.
Yeah, but I still think, I will say this: those stubborn people, they have a breaking point.
Everyone does.
Bring them to the base, the foundation. Knock down the whole house. Take everything away from them that they love. Depravity.
It's kind of what the military does.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the military do. You have nothing, bro. You have what we give you. That's it.
Okay. But in that example, Jay, there's not much left we can take in your previous example.
Right. Agree. The only way to do it at that point, I know what you're talking about, would be face to face.
Yeah.
It cannot be on the internet now. Now I must have you in front of me. And I will physically take everything away from you.
It's the same with Shadow, right? I still believe that invitation you initially sent to him, I think that would have been the tipping point. If you would have gotten him to your place and forced those 2 weeks on him, it would have been a different outcome altogether.
I agree with that, but Matthew, read what you just said. That kind of answers your question about earlier, if someone else could have done that.
It must have done what Jay did. Yeah.
Passive.
But that's because.
But then that goes back to that strong male figure, right? That goes back to what we were talking about. You got that strong male figure, and then this is the result.
Yeah.
Which you don't have much of anymore. You don't have that strong alpha mentality. Everybody's a bunch of beta bitches.
Oh, but here's a good question. Oh, this is a terrible question to ask. I'll ask it regardless. Let's say you wouldn't be in the picture. Would she fall back to what she initially was? Because you point out, oh, you're frumpy, and then you do. Because Bree wants to rely on you or wants you to tell her what she needs to.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, you're no longer in the picture. Would she then go back to what she originally was? Or
honestly,
as she
that's
taught herself...
a sad answer. That's a sad answer, and I've asked Bree that. She wouldn't be able to live. She wouldn't be able to...
because the regimen
survive.
She taught herself, like with the working out and stuff, that's... I mean, you're not telling her to do X amount of hours a day. She would still have that healthy mindset.
The reason... even if I cheated on her, she wouldn't leave me. The reason... That doesn't give me a window to do it, but it just knowing that. The reason she works out is not even for her. It has nothing to do with her. She has this mindset that if she doesn't work out, she'll get fat and I'll leave her. That's the downside.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's the downside of the way that I motivated her. You see? Because it was to be a lady. To be, right, but see, the downside to everything. I built her up. I let her get confidence, give her strong. You be independent, do your own thing. But then the downside of it is first off, now you rely on me because I'm the person that gave you that. Okay, that's one. And then two is you feel like you always have to fit in that mold. Well, that's a positive thing for me. It's a negative thing for her because without me being here, you have to learn to find that in yourself. And if you never had that,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes that backfires as well, because I've had people where you help them be better and lift themselves up and everything and get strong and have confidence and everything, and it backfires in your face because the minute they are at a certain level, they kind of, they're not, let's say they're not very grateful.
See, that's like what I was saying with the downside is like the reason why she works out is because she wants to fit that mold that I told her what a lady is. And no matter how much I tell her she doesn't need to work out, she's concerned that she won't still be in that same mold.
Mm.
So that's the downside of it.
I'll look at it both ways. It's yeah. So with the succeeding thing, Matthew, that you just mentioned, you're thinking about couple of certain hazers that were down in their dumps, stayed here for a while, and then their job improved,
Oh,
their general
yeah,
life improved.
yeah, maybe, but not more to an intense extent. I mean, people in my life previously, where you've helped them out, become more
Oh
confident,
yeah,
become a better person, and the second day they achieve that, that's always a gamble you take. You can make somebody strong, and it can go either way. They
No,
can be thankful that you did it,
no.
or they can be like, I'm strong now, I
Resentful.
don't need you anymore.
Resentful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Resentful.
thanks,
Yeah, and then
and
why is
bye.
it okay? Why is it okay? Right? If someone would say it wasn't okay what happened with me and Brie, but why is it okay for you to look at your woman and then she says, how does this dress make me look? And you say, it doesn't look good on you. It's not a good dress. Change it. Why is that any different than what we did? You're still trying to make her
there's no
look better,
difference.
right? There is no difference. It's just that
No,
one is a lifelong process or a 5-year process. The other one is instantaneous. It's no
But
difference.
see,
I would say
some women,
your situation takes more commitment than love.
but some women would respond to that, or take that advice, and some women just wouldn't.
Yeah, but that's
So your
stubbornness.
argument of
That's
and independence, right? Stubbornness and independence, those two things. Yeah, I'm independent, and that's why you're single. And
Yeah,
that's why you go to the bar at 42 years old looking for a man, is because you're independent, and you will continue to do that for the rest of your life. There has to
that's
be
why you're on TikTok.
codependency in a relationship. There has to be.
That
How much of it?
that's why you're on TikTok
How much
crying.
no.
codependency? I don't know, but there has to be some codependency in a marriage. There has to in order for it to work.
That's one of the reasons the nuclear family is dying out, because there is if two people are completely independent and
Yep.
none of them need each other,
Yep.
why would you need a
Why are we
relationship to
here?
begin with?
Why are we here?
Yeah, what are we doing?
I'm wasting time right now. I could go be doing
Yeah.
independent things like riding my own tractor in my own cornfield. You know,
Yeah,
like
and if you're not gay, but you're in a relationship with a woman, and it's male energy, and she has male energy as well, that doesn't work.
Oh,
Same
no.
thing with females.
But
agree.
I would think that you notice that quickly. I don't think you would get far in a relationship to begin with. It doesn't. It's not something that pops up 2 months in the relationship. You can't just hide the
That's
fact
where
that
you're
you're
wrong,
that
because
dominant.
the two first months is where everything is all rosy and happy and whatever, and people are not really who they are. It's still the courting phase where everything is good, and you're at your best, and whatever, and that starts dying off after 2 3 months. You start getting comfortable, and then the true personalities show up.
oh, I like what Bree just said.
Yep.
Because it's a
It's
normal.
expected. It's expected of a
Yeah.
man.
But let's be honest, Brie, you're a feminist.
Yeah, you're one in a
million.
million, Bree. You're 1 in a million, Mama. I don't know. See, I didn't train that in her, by the way. I didn't train that in her. Her mom did something right. That's that's all Bree thinking right there. It's accurate though.
I'm gonna go the same route as the with the trans. I think it's a small percentage that's more vocal, so you think it's one way, but I think if you would ask, well, not it has to be in a certain age bracket, but I still believe that some women would rather have their man taking care of them instead of have to do a job or be forced into labor and just
Okay,
be
but
a
what's her
housewife.
part of the role then? What's her part of the role? If that
Taking
that is
care
the
of the
man,
household,
in what
taking
regards?
care of the,
More,
everything, cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids if there are
taking
any,
out the
taking care of
garbage.
you. Well, that's one of those things I still preserve to like. I'll take care of the bags, yeah, sure. But other than
Mow the
that,
lawn.
yeah,
Mow the lawn.
that's something I
Typical
also
male thing
still
to do.
typical.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. When you're saying take care of the house, be more specific. So you're saying inside the house.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, agree. Agree.
Hanging up a shelf, doing or whatever the typically man. But the problem with what you just said, John, is I agree. Maybe some, or maybe some. Most women would want that. The problem is now they want that at 35 or 40 when they've had their wild years and whatever. And then they don't. That's kind of they're crying on TikTok. Oh, where have all the good men gone? Well, all the good men you left behind in your 20s and your 30s. You didn't want them. You wanted something else.
Why
That was
did you know that it's more common for a man to want to get married in his 20s than a woman?
yeah.
Did you know that? They think it
can
has
see
something
why.
to
Yeah,
do with men's psychology to procreate while we're younger and to have children. Women, on the other hand, look at it like I don't want to miss out on all my fun years. I'll wait until my late 20s, early 30s. That's proven, by the way.
And-
That's a
and
proven study.
because of fertility. So it's a younger. That's why a younger female is always going to be attractive because of a fertility, like you just said. It's always a younger woman is perceived to be more fertile.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact she's more valuable because normally when she's 20, she's her body count is gonna be lower than when she's 30 and partied all the time.
Not nowadays.
Yeah,
Not nowadays.
that's not so true now. I mean, you're watching a lot
Not
of Keith
anymore.
and whatever, but not traditionally. Women are harder. Uh, Speaking from as someone that would get a lot of coochie, women as time progressed got harder to get into their panties than what they were in the 90s or the 80s. It's become more difficult. Yeah, there are women that are tramps and hoes, but they may act like they fuck a lot, but when they ride your dick, you realize that this is the second one you've ridden because this is terrible. Let me take over.
Yeah, but if they're 22 and they have a body count of 40 or whatever, that's
Yeah, Bree, you missed it all. Well, I guess you could argue and say that you hit it all because you were doing drugs. So she was so embarrassed to like she never wanted Jesus to know that she used to be on heroin. I said, why? Embrace that shit. Embrace that. You fucking beat it. You beat it. Good for you. Why not tell people that story? It's motivational.
Yeah, and I think you would get more of a judgmental thing going if you know you've been quitting for 10 years and you keep relapsing and relapsing, and eventually you fall in the same bracket as other is, yeah, we're giving up. You're never gonna quit.
I think the women nowadays they're about money, right? Which is why they're doing that website, which is why they're even on this platform and they show their crotch and they put Legos together.
Hmm.
What do you do when you're 40? Or what do you do when you're
The
50?
problem is, I think they're so naive that if they decide to quit it, it just dissolves whatever was and is on the internet will stay on there forever. And
yeah.
even though you don't feel the consequences right now, it
Oh,
can
yeah.
always come back and
Oh,
bite you
yeah.
in the ass.
Like that immigration thing we were talking about. I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, we did, where you tried to apply and then they said, what's your source of income?
OF.
Oh, denied. You're a
Sorry.
prostitute.
And it's also a lot of those. I want to be empowered, and I want to be my own boss, and I want to be that tend to go the other route, and then they complain that they have to earn a living, and they complain that the price of a house is expensive. And the
Hold
price of
on. That's not fair, though, Matthew. Remember that pig thing where the girl was like, I have kids, and she was in a impoverished country. I have kids, I'm married, I don't want to do the adult thing, so I'm going to do the scam thing.
Mm.
So when you're that desperate and that's all that you have,
Yeah, but how many stories are like that? I think that's going to be the smaller bracket of things. I think it's going to be mostly white privileged women. Like, I can go be a cashier and stock shelves for 10 or 20 bucks, or I can just post nude feet pictures, or just nude pictures as a whole on OnlyFans and make, I don't know, a couple of thousands a month. And it takes less effort.
it's like I feel for the girls, but I don't. I feel for the ones that have no other options, so they do it. I don't feel for the ones that are on Twitch with their pussies in the air and putting the Legos together. Like, I don't feel for you. You are truly. And how is that? How does OF not constitute as prostitution? That's a thin line, no? People are paying
it is, though,
money.
isn't it?
What's that?
They are sex workers.
Not by law, they'd go to jail. But is it because that there's no physical contact? Because you're paying. You're paying to masturbate.
Yeah,
to an
and
individual.
That's still the same.
I mean, that's pretty damn. That I don't know how much more closer you want to get. That's.
And then, if you want to relate that back to what we originally started, now I'm wondering, how strong was your father figure?
most of them.
So you
Oh,
ended.
didn't know daddy. Daddy was never around. Never knew who my dad was.
Yeah, because they are, I would say, a huge part in instilling that self-confidence in their daughters to then not, I wouldn't say lower themselves. Well, it is to a certain extent, because otherwise you would tell them you deserve and you can do better.
Again, dad being more strict and harsh than the mom is usually.
Tell them about the OF versus bits thing in men. So Bree said to me the other day, she goes, how come Twitch allows girls nudity and like softcore porn? I said, it's not softcore porn. They have to be naked. She's like, well, it's close enough. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, people are showing their crotches and putting Legos together, and that's okay. I said, well, it's easier for a man to justify to his wife that he is donating to one of his friendly gamers bits versus being on OF and it's showing on your credit card statement. So which one do you think would you like better? If you just saw Twitch coming out of my credit card or an adult website? Right? That's
Does
how I think.
OF show as
Wait, say it again. Does OF have what?
Does it show OF on your credit card statement?
Yeah.
It does. Oh.
And that's why I buy bits.
That's why I did. Yeah, Uh, Even if they do porn on OF, it's not like porn is prostitution, right? It's not considered that because then you're watching porn
I don't even know why
on
we're
your
saying
TV.
OF. You could say OnlyFans. We don't have to like get PC sensitive for them.
Yeah, but we're giving them even more recognition.
Like
It's a
Stan said,
platform
it's
that
such an
needs to go.
oversaturated market that it doesn't really matter. You know, you could find anybody on Facebook and then you'll see their links and then boom, they got one. It's like it's at this point, it's just another social media platform. That's
Yeah,
not
but
until
what does
someone
that
writes up a
say?
law where they say you can't have this anymore. This is where you need
But
governing society to step in.
and that's a bad thing. What does that say about females nowadays as a whole? That they rather share their whole body nude on the internet than take a regular job. So you're
It's
willing
easy.
to sell your self-respect for a couple of dollars instead
But
of
isn't
doing a
everybody,
normal.
though, Jordan? Isn't everybody? We've discussed this. How much money? Everybody's got a price. Everything has a price.
But you're giving it away so cheap.
I
That's my
agree.
point.
Yes, I agree. But if you put it too high, then no one's gonna buy it.
And I can see
You
what
move.
Jay said
It
before.
goes
If
back to
you're
what you said,
desperate,
Jay. Self-worth. Self-worth. You
yeah, but
gotta
if
put
you're
something.
desperate, really desperate, and you
Then
do
take a
this
regular
because
job.
there's no other way out of it,
Yeah, but
I
you
could
can't.
see, yeah, okay. But you're not going to tell me that a lot of those are that desperate because they can get a job and they can do it another way. It's just laziness and it pays better.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's the problem is why would I go get a job flipping a burger at $10 an hour when I could do this and get $15 an hour? Well, obviously,
Hmm?
what would you do? You take the better job. I mean, it's
It's probably
common
just
sense.
jealousy.
Jealousy, yeah, because it's ease or envious. I wish I could turn on a camera and I mean, I do with Twitch streams, but that's my whole intake for the day. I don't have the option of people just signing up for my OnlyFans or my Patreon of, ooh, look, another $20. Ooh, look, another 30.
Hmm.
That's where men have it worse than women. Women have the upper hand there. I mean, even in a relationship, women with pussy, or I don't know why I always say women with dicks, but the power of vagina is extremely powerful. You've seen what it does to men. It'll break them down. It'll make you do things you didn't want to do because you know that you want that coochie later on tonight. So you're willing to do whatever
Hmm.
makes her happy.
But do you think it would that category would implode itself or it would just keep on going, keep on growing?
It's gonna go either way. So it implodes,
Yeah, it's not going to stay
or
the way that it
you
is now. There's no way.
or you see crazier things, right? When the market becomes oversaturated, you're gonna get more for
No.
less. So you're gonna see even more disturbing stuff for less money. I don't know.
Yeah, hence the question, the imploding thing, because if everybody does it, it's gonna be so cheap and so readily available that it's gonna be worth next to nothing. So people are gonna stop doing it. I don't know. Maybe if you have to show your body for $5 an hour and you can go flip burgers for 15, that's the reverse. You might want to go flip burgers.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're bringing up a point, but Stan, I agree with you. That's not that shocking to me. The one that Andy posted, the one that's shocking to me is the Disney one. You guys know her, right? The one that worked for Disney and said, "I'm going to cancel and go do OnlyFans," and then she got what was it?
1 point. First night was over 1 million, I think. Or for what was it?
Yeah, I think it was 12 million in a month. Disney ain't ever gonna pay you that. I can promise you that.
No.
Hey, look,
Nope.
shit. Even if you're an A-list celebrity, you ain't making that in a year. So, good job. You won the lottery. Nice boobs.
Yeah, but why is that? Why would you? I don't know.
And a lot of them, like million lottery winners, a lot of them come away with nothing because they're used to the amount of money coming in every month, and they just spend it. And
Yeah, but
then
at least if they spend it, here's the bright side of it: you have something to show for it. You know, it's one thing if you have nothing, like you just blew it all on coke, right? You have a nice house, or you have a nice car. You have something nicer than you did before. So at least you came out with something, even if it's one thing. I don't know. You only have one thing after $200 million. I'll tell you right now, you guys got to play the lottery. People inside of Twitch, I think we're at $1 billion on if you're in Florida, and then $1 billion for the other one.
I got 39. We're playing for 39. I'll take it.
39 million.
Yeah. I think I can survive off of that.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I'm
What do
gonna
you
cut
make?
some
Watch
corners.
this. You can cut some corners. What do you make? Wow, 800 million and 1.1.
Whoa. Jesus.
what's the max we ever had? 270.
Well, I looked it up last time. The bracket from Euro Millions has always been, what is it, starting point 17, and it goes to 250. So that's the only thing I could find. The 270, I
Jesus
I
Christ.
wasn't able to find it.
Could you imagine winning both of
Anyway.
those? Right, like you go buy tickets,
Yeah.
and you get both of those. What are the
Huh.
odds of that? 1 in 600 million? More. Because
Yeah.
if it's 1 in 300 million for one, and it's one in 290 million.
But you had that example, right? The female that won it multiple times?
Yeah, back to back. You need a new friend? You want to hook me up with some things?
She can't have been
I
playing
would
with the
just-
same number, right?
I would just hang around. If she has that much luck going on, it's bound to rub off on you somehow.
No. You offer to bring her lottery ticket to the place, and you just copy
Yeah,
the
switch
numbers
them.
that are on there every
Switch them.
time.
Just switch.
No. Just play the same numbers.
Yo, how nice is that one, bro? I don't know if you can
For
see
what?
it. It's $1,000 a day.
$1,000
A day.
for
A
life.
day.
A day.
Yeah.
And a straight up win. So if you win, you win that, or is it also you get into a group and you have to be chosen afterwards?
No. You win, you win.
Oh,
I'll take it.
$1,000.
I think that almost sounds better than 300 million, even though that's only 365,000. But that's
Do they
Yeah,
take
you're
taxes
gonna
out of
pay
that?
less
What?
taxes.
you'll fall
Pay
in a
less
lower
taxes.
bracket. Yeah, fall in a
No.
lower bracket.
And that's still a nice payout. That's what, 30K a month?
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll cut some corners, but I'll take it. $30K. I'll see what I can do. I'll probably up my tier.
I don't up your tier. Give me the money, and we'll run off together. We'll elope.
Mexico?
Mexico.
Ay, ay, ay.
I don't know what that was.
I know.
That was a good stream. I had fun. Holy
Yeah?
cow.
Yeah,
2
always.
hours. Wow. That went through fast.
Ooh.
Wow.
Always does.
Yeah,
Always
that was fast, bro. Always a pleasure. I wish we could do this more daily. Makes
Yeah.
my content so much easier.
Time flies when Barry or Harry isn't here. So
Yeah, he just sits in here. I know what
conversations
I'm
we
gonna
have.
do though. I'm gonna take my
Even though
ass
he's
to
very
the-
argumentative.
Yeah, in text. I'm gonna take my ass. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna get $40 in each one of these. Each one of these. See what happens.
You play online or you go get
No,
them?
you gotta go
That's
get
it.
them. Actual. You can buy it, but it's right down the road from me.
Oh, I never play online because weirdly enough, I looked it up. Percentages are weird. I've never been able to find a person for Euro Millions or lottery that's won it playing online. Not a single one.
So that's more of a reason to play online.
Yeah.
You have more
No.
chances because nobody's
My
ever
man-
won it.
Listen, I was one who was mowing the lawn. My neighbor has so much dementia. He's not mowing his lawn. He's mowing my other neighbor's lawn.
No.
Ah.
Nice. Nice.
Wow. It's a good
Can you trick him into doing yours as well?
Yeah, can
though?
you just slide on over here? I mean, since you're just doing a cul-de-sac, you just got to scoop over one more and
So, depending on the severity of the dementia, you can take him by the shoulders with the mowing machine, point them in the right direction, go like
this way,
this-
this way, this
yeah,
way.
this.
Yeah, there,
not that one.
yes.
That's the neighbor.
Oh, what you need to do is, if you trust them enough, is park your cars over there and go, damn, Bob, your truck is looking a little dirty there. And then they'll wash your car.
Ah, yes, thank you. Here's the hose.
Yeah, I've got some good soap and some nice sponges you can use. It's just neighborly to do, right?
Yeah, you can borrow mine. It's fine.
It's like I kind of feel bad for him, but I'm just gonna let your mind let it be. All right, we're gonna sign off. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Barry and Harry, John and Matthew. You guys are beautiful.